This is day 619 of the Arukh HaShulchan. If you'd like to sponsor upcoming shir or more of the Arukh HaShulchan, please contact me directly. Be greatly appreciated. Today we're doing Siman Shin Samach again. Shin Samach 3 more days. Sif Lamed Dalet, Sif Lamed Tes. Lamed Dalet. So we were in the middle, actually, yesterday, of an issue here about Muvachos versus Mitzumtzamos, right? Muvachos are where the fingers are slightly not held so tightly together, and Mitzumtzamos are where they're held tightly together. So, Arukh is coming to make a order in this issue. There's no doubt at all. Although Mashbir Alocha says that there is a doubt, and it's a subject of Chesron Yediyah. But Arukh HaShulchan, no Chesron Yediyah. Emotion Emra Basina, the Ben Muvachos Ben Tutzamos Kasherim Bechom Makom. That's a big kiddush, right? Doesn't the different? They're both kosher no matter what the place. By the time Sheiloni don't tell Malach Yesharis, the Torah is not given to Malach to Malachim. In other words, it wasn't given with a precondition of absolute precision. And the measurements of all people cannot be precisely equal. So people are very healthy, very strong, and they can hold their fingers very tightly, and it's a very narrow measure. There are weaker people. They can't make it so tight. It's a more expanded measure. And such things it said you can't be precise. But I call them every person has to measure according to his finger breadth and the way he holds his hand, according to his habit. And the person wants to measure a place where he can go, and he wants to be, it's 2,000 amos to extend as far as possible. He's going to use an expansive amma for his own benefit. It's okay. It's okay. So the 4 amos which you can carry is just a rabbim, which is derived from the pasuk of each person should sit underneath in his place, underneath him. We assume he's going to measure with expansive tvachim. That's why it's pasking in Shin Samach Vav that they are expansive expansive tvachim, expansive amos. 2,000 amos, a person measures where he should have the capacity to walk in the Muvachos. He's going to measure expansively. Therefore, that mentioned they should be narrow. But a street which is made for the masses to walk. You can't go by an individual. This whole sefer is full of chidushim. Wonderful chidushim. They make lots of sense. That's the chidushim. So, by an individual, your 4 amos, your 2,000 amos, you can measure based on how you measure. And you're going to make it an expansive, expansive form, so you have more measure. But them which is musul or rabbim, they're a movi. With the individual, by whose fingers you're going to go. V'gam ein shum hefsei b'zeh, and there's no loss, I guess, because we're not sure exactly what it means, but it means that in where you can go, there's some loss, obviously, that make a larger lechi, smaller lechi, whatever. But there's nothing substantial in terms of the loss of mobility and so on. So, they have to measure l'chumra. Because there's certain people who have this midah, whether it's a kula or l'chumra, depending on the situation. We can't be maker for these people because of other people. On the contrary, we have to be maker for other people because of these people. So the Rambam and those with him holds that in each halacha you have to go whether it's a chumrah, whether it's a kula. Figure it out. Chumrah, kula, chumrah, kula. And those with him hold that you have to go by the majority of halachas. Where in general it's going to be chumrah, in general it's going to be kula. So that by sucking kilayim when the matter has to do with other people, or whether it's some concept of whether prohibition kilayim is or what the definition of mitzvah sukkah is. So since we need consistency, although I'm not sure exactly why, but we need consistency, you got to be machmir on these on account of the other shikim does the kachu for whom the measure is this measure. Can you Rabbi says, since it's a person, since it's highly subjective. In other words, Rifeld in extremist that is subjective, and therefore we can never give you a precise principle. So therefore, Tzamos and Ruvachos, they both work. Go according to your own measure. Lamches v'chein yosayim mavi echad. Avaramam ein lasses midirak bofen echad. Omutz Tzamos and Ruvachos. If you're talking about a specific mavi, you have to be consistent. Either Mitzvah Tzamos and Ruvachos in all its halachic aspects. Right, both kula and chumrah, and avla shemam mashma sheksash yesh l'nelech b'chodim prati chumrah. They have to examine each halacha, whether it's the 10 fachim, the 4 amos, what it is in this context, what in each context of kula chumrah. Ulekavas are involved in frost. But it's about separate streets. Shnei tzolomar moviyachad pam kach pam kach, because in the same moment, you should have to have consistency. Okay, which should be on the Shnei Medinos MS Halacha. But on the other hand, one could say, since we say both types of measurement are true Halacha, maybe even by one movie you have to determine what in that movie. You don't have to be consistent. You have to go kuma by each individual Halacha having to do that movie. Tzorkin, not sure. That's amazing to see him here. And here's brackets. Like the Mishnah wrote, it's a suffix, right? Because of the movie Echad having bechad gavni, and it says in one movie you go in one manner, I guess consistently in its halachas, either mitzum thomas or vachos. Very rare places say the master iya and sham. Very rare places as well sham from that there's no right. The mishnah to the crash mirashba. He probably holds a garage in Rashi, but the Mavli was sukkah kulam mitzum thomas. Well, then by Mavli sukkah they're all mitzum thomas. But according to him, that it's a suffix. Definitely, you have to go. You should definitely go with consistency. But according to what we're saying here, that perhaps you can vary them they can be different. Viduk requires certainly more analysis, but it's a very innovative perspective. Definition of a mavi is that it's longer than it's wider. The chatzar is precisely square. If you have a mavi which is precisely square, yesh lo din chatzar as the halacha of a chatzar. Chatzar shark yosar, and vice versa. Chatzar which is longer than it's wider, you don't come mavi, it's like a mavi. The Gemara says in every daf you base if the length is more than the width, havle mavi chule, it's a street. If not havle chatzar, it's a yard. Ein sham. Why? But tam nearly says Arukh HaShulchan, seems to me the chatzar shel echad. Chatzar belongs to one person. But evidently the way the towns were planned back then, every chatzar was square. And most buildings were square. But the street in front of the chatzers, it's got to be longer by definition. But on the other hand, the width of the street cannot be that long. Like we see, every street or car its length is much greater than its width. That's why they said by a street it's got to be more than 4 amos, at least 4 amos long. But we don't find such a shear. The reason is also the chatzar is made of individual. Also, katana godol can make it small or large as he pleases. Mashkem and Mavi Shulab is supposed to Mavi, which is for the masses. If it doesn't have at least 4 amos, there's no place for people to walk, lots of people to walk. So baruch, that's in length. But width can also be less. Ad tfachim ad gimel, even unto 4 or 3 tfachim. Kamoshi's barber says, we shall see. Lamed Zayin, mitnoy amavi, one of the conditions of the mavi, he niter belech for it to be permitted by a post or beam. Shlo yad fanos to muchim yasar tfachim. Kind of walls lower than 10 tfachim. Shlo tei rochav adovim ravim hamfulesh yisiyosim yasar amos, and that the fourth side on which we're making the lechikor can't be more than 10 amos wide. Associate oracle of pachas mindal amos. The length of the mavui can't be less than 4 amos. Uvegovo, the height, imikshir belechi, if they make it with a lechi, ain't shugovo, there's no limit up, so to speak, to its height. It's the walls, it goes up to the heavens, what do we care? I'm not sure, but if they use the beam, there can't be in the space underneath the korah more than 20 amos. Zeshin British Mechiltan said beginning of Erevin, Mavish Gavala Malam Yasim Am, Psula Mavi, which is about 20 amos, is possible. Came there, Korah Shilamalo, since the way it recognizes it's a Mavi is through the beam on top. Kibu Chazal have Msira, the Gavala Yasim Chaf Amalo Sholta Be Ena. If it's more than 20 amos high, you can't, the eye does not see it. Come over Sukkah, as we know by Sukkah. Umaskina Gemara, the Cholam Mavi tonight, the Gemara says it's talking about the open space, not the Korah itself, but the open space under the Korah has to be no more than 20 amos. The Korah could be at 20 amos above the Mavi and continue up from there. The in the cavity, there can't be more than 4 amos. If you're missing any of these conditions, you can't use the lechi korah. You have to use the tzurus pesach. Tzurus pesach is always effective. The Shabbat says that if you're lacking the condition of 4 amos in length, which a mavi requires, then you can use either a plank of 4 tfachim or 2 mashus like a chotzer. Again, I finished. It says before, Arukh HaShulchan concludes that since it's almost like a complete wall. Brackets, he says, here, that's the Rambam Perek Design. Gamma go gva, passing with fachim, even if it's less than 10 fachim high, so it's best is effective. I guess the rest of the mavi, the walls that are less than 10 fachim. If it doesn't have walls of 10 fachim, it doesn't have name mechitza, and shalom magid mishnah. Leave like the Rambam mother. So Pesach. Oh no, it's just Pesach itself. The Ram holds Tzurus Pesach, which seems that the Ram holds that Tzurus Pesach, which is less than 10 fachim high, is still Tzurus Pesach. But the Rashba holds that if it's less than 10 fachim high, it doesn't have the name of mechitza. So it says, "I use like the Rambam mother Tzurus Pesach, Tzurus Shigavasar." Ram also Tzurus Pesach has to be 10 fachim high. But the walls on the side, it's not concerned with less than 10 fachim. He says, this will be no machlokas. Mr. Burr says, but many Achronim conclude that if the space of the mavui was lower than 10 fachim, I'm not sure how you get that. Anyway, a street which is lower than 10 fachim, but all right. Otherwise, it would be a tunnel of some sort. But anyway, Tzurus Pesach won't work. But if the open space of the mavi was more than 10 fachim high, only in one place only in the place where the mavi opens up to the larger street, it's less than 10 fachim. Tzurus Pesach work for this as long as the Tzurus Pesach itself is made kedin that its post should be higher than 10 fachim. I don't exactly understand the scenario. What's going on with this? Be that as it may. Whatever it is, it must be a rare scenario. We have a mavi less than 10 fachim. Lamaches, Amaches Aresh Mechilton. Chazal say in the beginning of everything, the Korah Gavah Mumal Mechaf Amma, a Korah which a beam with about 20 amos, Masla Maltara. If you made for it certain types of designs, Hayatzrim Chiyurim, drawings and sculptings. Shaydeze who come stacking blood through this everybody. So look at the kshera, it's okay. Came in that psul since the psul is that it's not noticed when it's above 20 amos. But when it has drawings, there's people who come to notice. Neither it's like Dav Katsurim Boltim. Shulchan says it's got to be drawings which stick out. In other words, 3D, not just flush 2D. Commercial 8 of wood, etc. And this is Yerushalmi also speaks about this, I think, in some detail, that the Heichel had Amal Toros and the Beis HaMikdash had these beams, protruding beams. Shnei Perek Yom, the middle space, Rashi 8 Ayin Sham. Yesh B'Shulchan Aruch Chavav, the Tziyur Misid, that the drawing is made out of plaster, and Sham is like the inner cane. Aruch disagrees with that because it looks, I guess, more like the wall, not like a separate beam. First king, Shomer Maya Maltor Charamer Kine Ophos. When it says what's a Maltorah, and some say that it looks like bird's nests, kind of it's like wooden carvings of bird's nests. But Charamar H one says it's a beam, a cedar beam. Ein Sham. Arukh HaShulchan Kasav Shablash Yivanis have a Korah Maltorah. I'm sorry, the Arukh writes that in Greek, Korah is called a Maltorah. But Gamash Kasav Sham Filatir B'Koisamani. That which he says that it even works if you make drawings on the wall. I don't understand where he gets this. Brack says, this Haggah in the Shulchan Aruch is not for Ramah. Okay, by Magi Mishnah, etc. Lamed says, you can also lift up the ground under the Korah so the gap is not 20 amos anymore because it's a higher ground. So be 120 amos from there to the beam. Rambam says if it's higher than 20 balamatah b'korah and want to make it lower with a beam, lamata, which you put underneath, it's got to be a tefach wide, that step like a korah itself. Came the hecker the korah, that like be a rak sham. Since the hecker only has to be underneath the beam, only have to elevate the level of the mavi under the beam. Shemishi Amor love you as a korah, so he's going to stand on it, it's going to see the beam above him. So normally you don't say you see what's exactly above you. Let's Ram near the circle of Mata korah dafka. For the Ram, it seems that you have to have specifically a beam on the bottom in order to elevate it. The Torah and Shorah was right similarly. If it was more than 20, if you build a structure under the korah, of tefach, it's enough to have the width of a tefach of that elevated area. Binyan. So the modern language of binyan, which means sounds like it's a structure like a beam. For those who say it's enough to have dirt. But the issue is if the people who are stepping on dirt gets compacted. So you have to make sure that's less than the shear. Rashi appears came by Gemara. The Rashi says in Daf Dalet, Balamato lasos binyan o offer structure or dirt. I'm ashamed near the Dafka Koshal 807. But the language of the Poskim says that we're too concerned with dirt. It has to be wood or stone. Because the dirt is only going to get diminished over time. And the Gemara says, being of Avery, the Rabbi, too many cooks spoil the broth. If you have too many people, the masses are not going to remember, not going to pay attention to the dirt getting pounded down. It's an individual charge, maybe, but if it's the masses, which the pot of partners is never too hot enough, or too hot or too cold, meaning that it's not going to be cooked properly. Mishnah says that he does allow dirt. Yes, it says you have to be vigilant. It doesn't get less. So leniency. Mishnah is not happy with dirt. Mishnah is okay with it. Anyway, so what if the mobile is not 10 tefachim high? So you make a hole in the ground to make it 10 tefachim high. It's not enough that you just do it immediately under the korah. It's got to be 4 amos extending into the mavui. Sagi, but tefach here, tefach is not enough. Came shein funas cloud, since they're not walls at all. But inan shear the funas korah hechsher mavui. You have to have you have to have a measure of walls to the proper extent of a mavi. Now he says even if the wall is more than 3 tefachim away from this dugout which you dug, it's okay. Sukkah gabe sukkah, like it says in Masechah Sukkah gabe sukkah. No, I wrote that wrong. That's one guy. Yeah, if you're thinking it's got to be pachas b'shlosh tefachim kosher. Guy has to be within 3 tefachim. You can don't make a flush with the wall, but it has to be within 3 tefachim of the wall. Just like by a sukkah, which is less than 10 tefachim, that you make a hole within 3 tefachim of the wall in order to make it 10 tefachim high, iron sham.